Okay. So I also put in here because I'm going to be sharing a lot of resources. And so you're probably going to want to either jot this down or also to share or just scan it so you have it like on your phone. I'll put this up for a minute so you have that there. Okay. So my name is Shannon McClintock Miller, as Sylvia mentioned, and I am the district teacher librarian and innovation at Van Meter Community School in Van Meter, Iowa. I also am a library consultant for Stick Together, and I serve as the Future Ready Librarian spokesperson, and I'm a member of the Future Ready Schools national faculty. And so I'm a little busy, but my favorite role is just being at school and being a teacher librarian. And I get the pleasure of working with all of our teachers. I'm in a school that is preschool to 12th grade. And so we've used Stick Together for all the grades in all different ways. And so a lot of the things too that I'll be sharing, I love to post about. And so I wanted to put a link in here to sign up for my weekly newsletter, and also just a link. Everything that I mention is linked in the slides. And so you can also get to my blog. There's the picture that we just did of the top of my blog. Susan Reagan, one of my dear illustrator friends, she did that for me a few years ago. So that's what we just did in the little pixel party. And then you can also find me online on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. And so I wanted to put those in there too. But as I mentioned, I get the pleasure of working with our community and all of our teachers every day. And we're all under one roof at Van Meter. And so it's really neat to see how a product like Stick Together, when we walk around the building, seeing the posters hanging up, seeing the kids interacting, like maybe a teacher has shared a poster, virtual one, in their Google Classroom, and now just working with pixel art. And so I'm going to share just lots of ways that we can tap into the power of technology using creativity, innovation, and curiosity to help all students think, create, and make. And Stick Together is definitely one of our favorite ways to do this. So we're going to start just by visiting Stick Together 101 on their new site, which I can't say enough about. It's just really been great to explore it in the last few days and see all of the things that they have included. And under Stick Together 101, you can see the different products in that they have. And you probably all have seen and have maybe used these within your building. And this is what we started with when it came to Stick Together, was having our kids interact with the great sticker poster kits. And my kids, even from our youngest, I passed out a few new ones even today. And our youngest ones, they absolutely love them, all the way up to our oldest kids too. And my son is a senior at Van Meter, and he enjoys doing them. They do them in their Spanish room because they do some switching around. And so their Spanish teacher loves them. But I love having them, not only hanging up where the kids can interact, but even pairing them up with things that have to do with the curriculum, or maybe great books like The Unicorn, having them in our STEM room. And the things that they have included, especially, I love these Eric Carle ones, being a librarian, and especially pairing them up with activities that we might have, even when it comes to, like, for the Very Hungry Caterpillar, when the kids are even learning things in science. And so I've done some choice boards too that you can actually find on the website. And these will take the kids not only to different things that they can learn about, but you can even add your own like virtual sticker boards to this as well. And so you can find them right under resources and choice boards on their new website. So it makes it really easy. And then we just did some around winter. And so these are 4 that are focused around winter themes. Again, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can use these for your own kids too. Now, virtual sticker boards, and these are so fun because I love to mention these. And this was kind of that second thing that we did was stick together. I love the virtual ones. So easy for our teachers to share these, for us to share them as librarians, teachers, whatever we do within our building. But even to use them like with professional development with teachers has been a really fun thing too. And there are so many different ways that you can use them, but our teachers use them a lot. Our kids love. Today I walked into a classroom and the kids were like, they had a sub and they said, can you make us a virtual sticker board? And so they love it too. And I wanted to share this just really quick. And this was one that last year Sylvia made one for me of two of our teachers, and our second grade kids and our third grade kids were working on this together. And so let's watch how excited they are as they put together Mrs. Garrison and Mrs. Ferguson.
This was 4 minutes. It took 4 minutes.
I love it.
I got some.
You guys figured it out?
Oh, they.
Mrs. Garrison.
Yay!
You can see their faces. Look, we barely did anything.
That
All day, just. Oh
You could just do this all day long.
I just watch this. I don't want to. I'm just 300 stickers left.
Okay, 300.
300.
You.
looks good.
Stop it. 3, 2, 1.
That's the best. So as you can see, pretty popular at Van Meter, and our kids just love them. And so now we get to one of my favorite things, and that's pixel art. And today I went in to do a project with our first graders that I'm going to share in a few minutes. And the teacher actually said in front of her kids, this is one of the best things that I did last year. I can't wait to do it with you this year. And so something, if you haven't seen this before, there are so many different ways that you can use the pixel art tool. And one thing that we have really thought about when we use this at Van Meter is not only using it for the kids just to have fun and explore with it, but really tying it into special things that we're doing within our classrooms. And so the pixel art tool, if you've never seen it before, this is the link of how you get to this tool, totally free online, which is another amazing thing. And so something that is really easy for the kids. We have it in their Google Classroom for them to explore on their own. We have even like for our little ones posters up where they can scan it with their iPads and get to it. And so you can get to it from that link too. And as I said, you know, just walking through the classrooms and seeing kids, what they create, it just blows our minds because they love it. It's simple enough for our kids, for our youngest learners, but the thing that they have created and how they're using it just makes it so much more than just a tool that they're going to. And one thing that we have done, and this is another thing that you can use with your kids, is on the end of the day choice board, for example, we have a link to it. And this slide before are the kids and they are creating with it. This is actually the classroom that I was in today too. But, you know, having it available for the kids that they can use it for all kinds of things themselves, but then tying it into what we're doing within the classrooms and the curriculum. So I'm going to show you all the ways that we have used pixel art to help our students think, create, and make. The first thing is creating a community garden with Stick Together Pixel Art. This was our first project that we did. And my second grade teachers, they came to me and they wanted a project to do at the end of their unit that was about gardens and planting. This was the springtime in Iowa. So we live in the middle of cornfields. And so really appropriate for what we're doing in the spring with our kids. And I found this book called Miguel's Community Garden. And so I put together a choice board with some books from Capstone and Pebble Go article. And then after we did that and they did research around flowers and vegetables, we had them go into the pixel art program with what they had created on paper, and then they put that into the pixel art. And it was so neat to see them. This was the first project to see how creative they were, much more creative than I was, what I created, and I couldn't believe it. And when you're in the pixel art program, one thing that I thought of as we started using this was we use Chromebooks with our elementary, was how I was going to capture like what they had created and download onto their computer. And so what I do is I have them then create a PDF and download it onto their Chromebook. And then I take these images that they have and I just put them then onto a Padlet so I can then run them off for the kids, and then they sticker them. This is my little friend Lola. You'll see a lot of Lola in here, but it's neat because when they put that on the Padlet, then you can easily run it off, and then you hand out the posters to the kids, and then they can sticker them with the stickers. And aren't these amazing? Like, I was just so excited to share these with Sylvia and the team afterwards because I was blown away at how creative they were. And then what we did is we put it together in a big community garden. The next thing is creating beautiful and unique pixel art and amazing fish stories after reading Only One You. One of my favorite projects this year. I love when you have a project and then it turns into so many other things. And I did this with my friend, Tracy Ferguson. She's one of our second grade teachers. The project before was with her too. And Only One You is such a neat book because the illustrator has taken rocks and painted them. And then those are the fish in the story. And it's just such a dear story. And so we read it to the kids, and then we wanted them to create unique fish in the pixel art tool. And so once they created these, again, we downloaded them, put them onto the Padlet so I could copy them off for the kids. And then they stickered them, and we put them together on a wall in Mrs. Ferguson's classroom. And then I went in one day and the kids were so excited because they had actually taken their pixel art and they made it into a story. And so these are second graders. This was another thing that I was just so impressed with what they had made, because they had this in just a Google Doc. And so they had a picture of their pixel art, and then they wrote these amazing fish stories around what they had created. And then Tracy put it together on their writing wall, just using those Google Docs, and put this up actually for their parent teacher conferences. And so I thought that was so neat to be able to do. And one thing that I just was reminded that I forgot to upload the picture, but today I went into their classroom and they were actually painting their own rocks. And it was so sweet to see like that kind of all come together from that one idea. So using picture books to really make those things come to life. The next thing is to create self-portraits for Be Who You Are Day. And Be Who You Are Day is just a fun day to celebrate. It's around Todd Parr's book, Be Who You Are. And we did self-portraits. And these, again, have been just so fun to see what the kids create and how excited they are to create themselves in pixel art. I love this one. This is one of my favorites. And you can see that the kids just love being able to share what they look like, if it's specific things like wearing glasses or their color of their skin or their hair and these little details that they want. But then this teacher, Megan Warwick, she had them put it on a piece of paper and then hung them up because they had passed them around the room, and all the students then added their own comments, their own characteristics of what described them, and also their classmates did as well. And so just thinking about, really celebrating what makes us different and celebrating who we are. And then this last one, the Creating Thankfulness Self-Portraits and Stories, has been a project that I've been working on with our first grade team. And we use these two books. If you haven't seen Thankful, this is a new book that came out last year. It's a really cool book because in the book, the girl is making like a paper chain of what she's thankful for. And then we paired that up with another Todd Parr book. But this class were our first graders. So this was the first time they were using the pixel art tool. And so I did this with the class, with the teachers last year. And one of the teachers thought it would be a good idea for us just to take a picture of that pixel art and give them actually a piece of paper where they then could design it before we actually went to the pixel art tool. And so, when you're thinking about this with kids, like you're thinking about them counting, math, like how they're laying it out, like all these details that they want to put into it. And so today when we got on, just watching the kids and how careful they were when they were creating, and some of them, this would have been me when I was little, like didn't even follow their picture because they thought of all kinds of other creative things to do when they got in. And that was okay too, but it really helped the kids who needed that or even wanted, more structure when they were creating in the pixel art tool today. And so it was really fun just to see how different they were. And our kids, they use Chromebooks with touchscreens. And so I also thought this was interesting, even just to watch the kids and how easy it is for them to use it if they're on an iPad, if they're on a Chromebook with a touchscreen, or even using the mouse pad that they have too. And so it's kind of up to the kids how they're using this tool. This one is just so cute. I love that one. And the kids, just again, seeing how unique they are, celebrating the things that they want to highlight in their little self-portraits, and then putting it together on a Padlet so we can print them off. And then what we're going to do with this is the kids are going to put their portrait that they sticker, and then we're going to have a sheet where they write what they're thankful for and then their name. And then this will be displayed in their classroom. And so a good time of year to do a thankful project too. So different like directions and tips, because we've done a lot of projects, and these are just a few of them that we've done with our kids. But one thing that I think is really important to know is when you can use like the leftover stickers that you have, but then also I even brought one home with me. They have these great kits now that you can purchase, and they are class packs that make it really easy for you to use this too if you don't have a lot of the stickers left. And so I like this because I can then purchase what I need. And we have been doing this now, for a while. And so we have a lot of stickers. Some of our stickers, have a couple stickers left on them, and we try to organize them. And one thing that one of our teachers did is I really like this because she paired it up with the sheet, what number it was on the sticker page. And this just makes it easier for them to be able to find what they need. And then this year, one of our teachers, one of our associates, they actually organized it even into bags. And so, thinking about too, how you can make it just really easy for your kids to be able to find what they need in different ways, using that color key and also using the stickers that they have that they're going to use to sticker their posters. And so on the sticker page, you can also get on the new site the color key, and you'll want to make sure that you run that off and run off enough copies. Like I ran off a whole bunch of copies and I just laminated them. And so then we can use them over and over again when we're doing these pixel art projects. So it just makes it really, really easy. But when I am sharing this, like one thing that I do, and I use this even with our youngest learners, is I just share it in their Google Classroom. And so, for example, like this morning, I did this with another class, and I make sure that I share the site, and then I always make sure I share the Padlet, because I want them to get to those two resources really easily as they're creating. And with our youngest ones who have iPads, I just made this poster. And so they can then just scan it and they can get to that pixel art site just with that QR code, or even with that just short bit.ly. And so you can use this too. You don't have to reinvent the poster or even the bit.ly. Use it for your kids as well. And I just print this off. And again, I laminate them so we can use them over and over again. And then with Padlet, if you have used Padlet before, if you haven't, Padlet is just a great tool to use for this and so many other things. But with the Padlet, what I do is I always make it just the wall feature, because I want the kids to be able to share it really easily on the wall. And they're sharing it for me to be able to get to it really easy, to be able to make a copy of that sticker poster for them. And so I like that because I can then have them all in one spot. Another thing I wanted to point out on the new website are all the resources that are there too that are really helpful. So I've helped with like some curriculum connections, the choice boards. There's great like lesson plans and worksheets and SEL guide and even white papers. And then of course their blog, they always share so many amazing things. And so you'll want to check that out too. But I hope this gave you some ideas just to get you, started thinking. And I can't wait to see how everybody uses the Stick Together pixel art to help your students think, create, and make too.
Thank you so much, Anna. That was amazing.
You're welcome.
Can we maybe try for some questions? I'm not quite, maybe raise your hand or unmute yourself if you, let me just see, how do we do this? Yeah, does someone have any, you want to put it in the chat? Put some questions in the chat. That's probably the easiest. So
I can look at the chat too.
I'm just wondering, yeah. So you do this with as young as what grade or?
We've used it with even our youngest ones are kindergartners or TK kindergartners, but we haven't had them sticker the posters yet, but we will this year. We're going to do a project with them. And so first grade is the project that I'm working on this week, the thankfulness project. And so, and they love it. I especially love just to see, I think, little ones with any art that they do, but just how open they are and creative they are and what they make. So this is the perfect platform for that.
And there is a question from Molly, and she wants to know if you can show, and I don't know if we have enough time to show step by step how you made the virtual sticker using your own image.
I think Molly, tell me if I'm wrong. I think Molly is, so this is the pixel art thing, which I don't, but if you're talking about how we make images using our images, that's a different, that's something that's a different. So I guess maybe Molly, could you unmute and just clarify what you're asking? Maybe not. Oh, the one that the teachers did. Now I see. So that's okay, no problem. So yeah, so that was an image that we created for her. So we can create custom images. We're working on an interface where you will be able to upload your own photograph or image and make your own sticker board. And we're really excited about that, but we don't have that yet. So for now, that was just an image that I created for Shannon to use with her students. So yeah, so okay. So thanks for that question. And that I did want to clarify that was just a custom one, as was the one of the bulldog. But for now, we have the gallery where you can choose images from there. So if anyone has questions, put them in the chat, but I'll just jump in now to talk about some of these announcements that we have. So we are going to be doing a pixel art showcase to build off of this webinar, what you learned here and all the ideas. Shannon's going to share that in a blog, and then we're going to share it widely. We're not calling it a contest or competition because we don't really want it to be that. We just want to share just this beautiful way that kids can be creative. And so it's going to be similar to the, what I'm thankful for, connected to them doing a self-portrait. So just look for that in our social media. And if you sign up for our newsletter, we'll be announcing that there in the next week or so. We're having a pixel party similar to what we did at the beginning, if you were on early. So you can find the link in the events page of our website. Go to our website, go to events, go down. It's on Thursday at 6 o'clock. So you just jump on, and we're going to have the same thing. We're going to have some bonus pixels where you can win some prizes. And yeah, we had one last week. It was a lot of fun, and the message board is open. So we were chatting the whole time. It was a fun thing to do. We're having another webinar on December 14th, I guess. At 4 o'clock. And we're going to, let me just throw the registration link in the chat right now.
I already did, Sylvia.
Oh, it's already there already. Okay, so it's all there already. Okay, so you both have
already, and it's on December 13th.
I'm sorry. So this is wrong. It was 13th. That's why I thought this was wrong. It's December 13th at 4 o'clock. And we have a discount code. So I put that in the chat as well. That's for anyone who's on the Zoom right now. And it is for 15% all of our kits, excluding those who are on sale, bundles and Eric Carl, but all of our other kits, it's 15% off, and it's for the next month. So that link is in there. And so yeah, just being clear that the webinar is on the 13th. I made a mistake there. So are all the stickers the same size? I'm wondering maybe something. So yes, they are all 1/2 inch. I understand your issue, and but we have a lot. So this size is sort of had the broadest use in terms of not being too small and still and not being too big. The bigger it is, the bigger the image has to be for us to get this kind of resolution. So our posters are already 40 inches by 36. So if we make bigger stickers, we have to make bigger posters or have less information, in which case it doesn't really read. These images are so beautiful. So we could do something like this smaller. So we're thinking about it, but thank you for that. And yeah, we understand. So that, I'm going to, maybe we could, if you could stop sharing, so we can all come back together. Thanks. Okay, I cannot thank you enough, Shannon. That was just incredible. So anyone have any questions, last minute questions, feel free to email them to me. I'll get them, Shannon will get answers and like that. So that really concludes this portion of the webinar. Unless anyone has any other questions or thoughts or wants to say, but we did have a second portion that you can stay for, or if you need to go, obviously we understand everyone's busy. But what we thought we'd do now is create some, let me see, we have 34 people, create some rooms and just put people in rooms and just let you meet each other, chat, say where you're from, whatever you want to do. But I thought also talk about anything you want to talk about. But we'd be interested in learning how we could better support you with whatever, whatever points, whatever issues, whatever we're not a nonprofit, so it's not about giving anything away, but any other ways that we can support you would be something we'd be interested. But we don't want the chats to be about us. It's really about you to meet each other. And what we thought is we just do that for about 7 minutes. I have to figure out how to do it, but I think I can figure it out. And actually, you know what? And then we'll just come back together. So I'm going to reclaim host, and hopefully that will. Oh, here we go. Okay, breakout room. So I've never done this before. I'm really, really sorry. How many are we now? 20. So let me make 5 breakout rooms. Okay, include hosts. I'm going to make 4 breakout rooms. Nope, no, it's small. I'm going to make, okay. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to create them now and we'll come back in 7 minutes. Okay, hopefully that I'll tell everyone. I'm not quite sure how that works, but I'll figure it out. Okay, jump into your rooms. Hi, hi. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Susan. Can you hear me? Amanda, hi. Hello? Amanda, you there? Amanda? Oh. Let's just wait to see who comes back. Wait, I'm on a Zoom, Mark. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, so I'm not sure how that worked or if that worked. I don't think it did work, but it was an experiment. So does anyone want to, you can share either in the chat or just unmute since we're so few people. Want to do that?
You
Let's do that.
actually had limited some of the, I had to leave and come back. But because I lost the control, something happened. And so we lost control from that with people. So I don't know if people if you can try and unmute.
Oh, I see.
It may not work.
They can unmute themselves if they want. But anyway, so I just, I that was not successful. So I don't think we'll do that again.
We
But,
had a little chat.
You did have a chat? Oh, good. What did you chat about?
Elizabeth Gray and I
Yeah.
got to know each other for a minute, but we've got more things we want to talk about. And she does reviews of products for disability
Oh, wow.
blog and so forth. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it's funny because you and I were just talking about
That's
going.
amazing. That's amazing.
So if you're Elizabeth's still there, I definitely would. I've got your email on our list, and I'll send you a note. And you and Sylvia and I should chat some more because you are very, very interesting about your perspective on things. I think it would be a lot of fun.
Well, it sounded like Stephanie had a good experience. So I mean, I
Yeah.
really love this idea, but I think what happened was that some people dropped off because it was time, whatever. We have to figure this out because I really love the idea of people meeting and sharing, and maybe also I should have more people in the room. So I'm really.
I think also people weren't ready for it. So remember, we had one friend before.
Oh, the host will not allow them to unmute. Do you know how to?
Yeah. That's what I was trying to say to
Yeah.
you before. I had to exit and then come back in again as a co-host because
Okay, I'm so sorry, guys. Here, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. I'm
So,
gonna make.
we're learning. We're doing
Yep.
great. This is a
Where's
good
Joyce?
first start on everything.
How do I make you the co-host?
I am a co-host again. I went out and I came back in. So don't worry about me. I'm trying to get it done for everybody else to see if I can get them to unmute. But somewhere we changed the magic.
I'm so sorry. That was probably me. So you know what? Oh, I want to say unmute themselves. Okay, now you can all unmute them. You can all unmute yourselves.
There you
Finally,
go.
I'm so sorry. Can you unmute yourselves? Yes.
Yes.
Hi,
Yes.
hi.
There we go.
Yeah, I was able
Oh, I am
to
so
join the
sorry.
session.
I'm
and
so
unmute.
sorry. Okay, that was me. So,
No. But yeah, no, I had a great discussion. I mean, honestly, Shannon did a great job of showing all of the different tools and ways to use it because I don't know, just took it to that next level, I think. So it was nice being able to talk to that with those who remain.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a good, and the first thing that Elizabeth and I both said to each other was like, well, we're figuring this out. Like, where do you put the video on and so she and I were figuring out, and I think everybody's cool with that.
yeah, it's fine. Anyway, I think this could work really well.
Better, yeah. So let's just keep everybody sticking together.
Anyway, well, it was great. Shannon was great. It was great. So anyway, does anyone have any other, I have.
You want to
Okay.
mention that you have something fun coming up for next month, sort of
Yeah,
a little bit different?
Yeah, I think we did. We didn't talk. I mean, it's in the registration, but yeah, we're going to basically, it's going to be more like a fireside chat. So we're going to feature members of our community, different, and some of our ambassadors, our amazing ambassadors, talking about their stick together experiences and stick together stories. I mean, we get them all the time in emails and posts. And so we're just going to be sharing some of that. We're calling it a fireside chat, but we'll also be doing a sticker board and that kind of thing. So
I'll put it back into the chat again too. Um,
Will you guys be making the recording accessible later on? I missed the beginning because they sprung a mandatory faculty meeting on me and I was like, oh man. I've
Okay,
left.
so we will definitely share a recording. What
Okay.
you missed though, we did a sticker board with everybody and we had bonus pixels. So you missed that, but we're doing another one on Friday, Thursday at 6 o'clock, a pixel party. So you can join, if you're free, you can join that. And if you hit the bonus pixels, you win a free kit. So
Awesome.
I just want to make sure you knew that since you missed that at the beginning. So it was fun. We had about 30 people on and it took about 6 minutes or so and it just sort of sparkled to life. It was sort of fun. So, so hopefully you'll join for that. Okay.
Thank you.
Good. Thanks for joining. Thanks so much. And we'll get the recording. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good. Anyone else? Yeah, come to the December meeting and sign up for our newsletter. And we've got some very exciting new products coming out too. So stay tuned. So, okay. So
It was fun in the breakouts. And I think we can just like kind of even make that a little bit more and just say, we're using breakout rooms because maybe people will be ready for it then.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll get this. I'm so glad we tried it and I'm so
I
glad.
am too. I am
Worked for
too.
some,
And
worked for some, but we'll perfect it. We'll
it
perfect
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of friends here and Nicole is still
Yep.
here with us and we had Z. And I saw a couple of other ambassadors and there's, it's nice to get to see everybody's names. I've seen
Yeah,
a couple
absolutely.
of names before, so it's awesome.
Somebody here said that there are 50 students, this is Wendy, I have 50 students in my library, so I'll spare you the chaos. So I'm imagining there's a lot of background noise in some of these.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's it for today. But thank you all so much for joining. And we're always here, you know how to reach us. I'll put my, let me put my email in the chat in case anyone wants me.
Likewise. And Elizabeth, I'll find your email as well. But in case you get to it before I do, because I'm going to cook dinner for my family. There's my email as well. I always make sure I didn't put some notes there. Oh,
Okay,
so
thanks so
glad you
much.
enjoyed it. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna end now. Thanks so much, guys. See you next month.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.